Welcome back to another episode of Power Podcast. Today we have Chris with us. Yes, Chris, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Chris Baus. I am a professional life coach and a public speaker. I live in Tampa, Florida, and I am 54 years old.
So, moving ahead, let me ask you three questions. How much believing in yourself impact your life? What do you think?
It's a great question. First, I'd like to say that, before my personal development started, I had decades of addiction, active addiction in my life with drugs and alcohol. And when I got sober and started to do the personal development and work on myself, I realized that the main reason that I struggle with those issues is because I didn't believe in myself and I hated what I saw in the mirror. So the first order of business was to figure out a way to truly like what I started seeing in the mirror. And that was through, mirror talks and meditation and exercise and a lot of different things. But I realized, especially in the business world, how important it was because we are who we think we are,
Right.
right? And so if you think you're unworthy and you think you're incapable, guess what? You're going to be unworthy and incapable, right? So your degree of success directly is contributed by how much you believe in yourself. And I went through decades of my life not understanding that, right? That I control my own destiny, I control my own success. And how I control that is on how much I believe in myself and what I believe that I can accomplish. And once I truly started loving myself and believing that I could do whatever I wanted to do, my life changed astronomically.
I'm also firm believer of like what you think you become. Next question is, what are the best ways to overcome past traumas and difficulties?
I would say, first off, it's imperative that you find someone else that you can trust and open up to. We all hold on to things during our childhood and other traumatic events, and we're afraid to, especially as men, we are afraid to open up and tell anybody because we don't think anybody cares,
Hmm.
right? We are
Right.
groomed as men to suck it up, don't cry, it shows weakness, all those things, right? So it's imperative to find somebody that will actually listen and let you, get those things off your chest because that's how you begin the process of letting go is by talking about it, right? So once you can truly find somebody that you can trust and it won't go any further than their ears, then you can start to truly start doing the research that it takes because a lot of times we have blocked out trauma so much that we can't even remember the trauma. Subconsciously, we remember it, but consciously, we can't remember it, right? And so once you start digging in and you start digging into those traumas, then you can set up what I like to call action steps. Being a life coach, I'm big about, it takes action to heal. So once you figure out what those traumas are, then you can figure out what certain action steps are that you can do daily to start to heal from those traumas. Because we all do it. There are people that are addicted to trauma. You don't
Right.
have to just be addicted to drugs and alcohol, right? There's
Right.
multiple things that you can be addicted to, and you hear
Right.
people say, "Oh, she's a drama queen," or he loves drama. Well, that's really
Right.
because there was trauma in his life, and
Exactly.
he's built himself up to where he only feel that's like his warm blanket. Drama is his warm blanket, right? Because he doesn't know anything else. So until you start to attack those things, do some action steps, start to get rid of those things, then you realize that you know what, that wasn't the way to live in the first place. You know, I did that myself. I was a big people pleaser, so I always judged myself based on what other people thought of me. And I wanted to make other people happy so that I could feel happy. And
Exactly.
once I started doing some personal development, I realized that I was doing it the exact opposite of how it's supposed to be done. If I wake up every morning and I'm trauma free and I'm positive and I'm
Hmm.
happy, guess what? The people around me are happy.
Exactly.
And it took me decades to realize that. But once I did, my marriage got better, my friendships got better, my business relationships got better because what I was bringing to the table changed. And all that happened by letting go of past traumas.
That's great answer. So let's move to the next question. So what is the most important goal in leadership?
A lot of years. Besides being a life coach, I'm also the vice president of a nationwide construction company here in America. And so I have 3 decades of leadership.
Oh,
And what I've realized the most important goal in leadership is to create a non toxic environment where your team feels comfortable sharing ideas and looking outside the box without the repercussions of criticism and micromanagement. It's about confidence, right? If your team is confident that they can come with ideas and new things to the table without feeling like they're going to get crushed for doing so, then they're much more open to explore and discover, and it creates an environment where they want to work and they want to come up with ideas, right? So many leaders want to micromanage, and to me that's about their own confidence, right? If you're confident in the team that you picked, you should not have to micromanage them. That's not your job. Your job is to create an environment where they can feel free, come up with ideas, and succeed on their own. So if you don't feel that your team can do that, then obviously you weren't very confident in your choices in the first place.